Hello, I am Nick the Tool and we're back to show you another product that's hopefully going to make your life a bit easier in the workshop. We're sat in a year-old Skoda Superb at the moment, and I'd like to demonstrate to you a product that will help you when you're using your diagnostic tools. Now, lots of people plug their diagnostic tools straight into the vehicle using the 16-pin plug, and then they start doing their diagnostic test. Sometimes you will find that during those tests you get no communication, or you get some symptoms which are coming through the diagnostic tool that if you knew what the 16 pins were doing, you would actually be able to cure the fault a lot quicker. So what we have here today is, this is a breakout box, which these have been around for years, but the normal design of them would just be a load of little holes that you plug your multimeter into. This one's a little bit clever, it's a little bit more intelligent. I'm also using the latest diagnostic tool from Snap-on, so this is the Snap-on Triton. So this is a diagnostic tool that offers intelligent diagnostics, and I'll be doing a video on this soon. But all I've got out of here is the normal 16-pin cable you'd plug into the vehicle, and I've plugged it straight into the top of the breakdown box, and then the cable coming out the bottom of this I've actually plugged into the vehicle. So you can see it's flashing away and it's starting to work. Now what you'll notice straight away at the top, we have the OK light to tell us that the tool is working correctly. We have a pin light, and this is telling us we're looking at pin 16. And then we have a load of different pin icons with numbers next to them which correspond, and also holes next to them where you can put a probe in if you did need to probe using a multimeter or a scope for more of your in-depth diagnostics. So things you're looking for straight away to know you've got communication. On pin 16 at the bottom here we have a light. That's telling you that there is power coming out of pin 16, which is what you expect to see coming out of the vehicle. If you haven't got any power on pin 16, then obviously there's a problem which is before the diagnostic tool. So your diagnostics are going to be no good if you've got no power on pin 16. If you look at pin 16 up here, although the light is on, it's actually telling you battery voltage. So the vehicle's running currently and we're looking at 14.5 volts. So we can easily see that yes, the light's on and we've got the desired voltage we need. Number 1 pin is OEM. So if I now scroll through here to number 1, the OEM light is the actual pin that diagnostic tools are looking to pick up for power. So this is power out the vehicle, pin 16, but pin 1 is what your scan tool's looking for. So if you've got no power on pin 1, game over, you're not going to get any communication and it won't power your tool up. So that's the next thing that you're going to look for. We'll miss these 2 pins for now and we'll move down to pin 4. So if I scroll down to pin 4, this is actually looking at chassis ground on the vehicle. So your electrical side of the vehicle, if you haven't got a good chassis ground, then nothing's going to work correctly. And this is actually telling you that that is a perfect chassis ground, and you've got the light on, so you know that's going to be working fine. If you hadn't got a light on here, then probably one of the first places to look for would be to find that chassis ground on the vehicle. Just make sure it's nice and clean or it hasn't been damaged, and that would obviously then bring the light back on once you've repaired it and probably let you cure some of the diagnostic faults. If you look at pin 5, you can see straight away it's showing signal ground. Now this is the signal ground coming out of the ECU. So out the back of that ECU we'll just click down to pin 5. Help if I could count. It's all right. The voltage you're going to see on the pin 4 and 5 is only a light. It's showing ground, so it isn't actually listed in the pin list because you wouldn't expect to see a voltage there. So that's my misunderstanding. So these 2 here are looking for a ground. You're only looking for a light, but this is signal ground, which is back of the ECU. If you haven't got a ground coming out of the ECU, then none of your sensors are going to work. They're all obviously working around 5 volts. If they've got no ground, then you're not going to be able to complete the circuit and you're not going to be able to get those sensors to work. So those 2 lights are very important to you straight away. If we run down to the next 2 lights, which is 6 and 14, you can see this is can high and can low. So we'll go to pin 6 now. As you can see, I'm quite trigger happy. So we're looking for pin 6. It's because it's missing those 2 out. There we are, pin 6. So on pin 6 here, we're reading 3.6 volts and we're looking at can high. So can high is going to peak at around 3.6 and be flicking just under very slightly, and the light's flashing because it is an alternating measurement of voltage that it's looking to read. So that light's flickering and you're seeing the higher voltage up there, so that's all good to see. If you come across to can low, so we're looking for pin 14, I'll try and be a bit less trigger happy. Okay, pin 14, we're now on can low, and that's the lower end of the circuit, so we're bottoming out at 2.5 and that's flicking up and down. You can see it's alternating from the light, so we know straight away that the CAN bus system on this vehicle is working correctly. Now that can be a really quick way to find a fault. You've got issues with body control, or you've got issues within the vehicle. All you need to do, plug this in straight away. Have we got communication? Yes we have, or no we haven't. And you can see it very easily. You haven't even got your multimeter out, you haven't started to worry how to set a multimeter up for what you're looking to do. You just literally plug this tool in and it's going to give you that straight away. Now if you are very, very bright and you are getting really deep into diagnostics on vehicles, then you might be looking at some of the LIN bus aspects of the vehicle, or some of the actuator tests, injector, pulse width, modulation, those kind of things. Your diagnostic tool will actuate those vehicle parts, and it will also, while it's doing that actuation, you'll see lights come on here, and you will be able to probe this with your scope or with your multimeter to actually pick up what those sensors are doing, or what the actual information coming out of the vehicle is. So it's a really nice place to be able to probe in while the diagnostic tool is doing its test. So it's a great tool if you're starting out in diagnostics and you're looking for something which is going to make your life easier, then this is a place to start. But if you're really good at diagnostics and you want to make life easier, then this is also another great place to start. So part numbers for this will be listed in the description. I hope you enjoy the videos. If you want to know more about this product, or you want to know about the price, jump on a Snap-on truck and ask a Snap-on franchisee.